What up, YouTube? In today's video, I want to talk about the 3-day split that I did for the month of November and how from week 1 to week 4, I was able to increase the weight on my hack squat and deadlift 40 pounds. All right, so I got my logbook, and on here, I just want to read some of the numbers so you can see how I progressed on each exercise. So for Monday, the way that looks is I would do a hack squat, a pull down, dips, and a calf raise. Then Wednesday would be a shoulder and arms day. So I started off with a shoulder press, rear fly, lateral raise, overhead tricep extension, straight bar curl, hammer curl, and then I would end it with some neck exercises. For Friday, first exercise is a RDL, then a pullover, then an incline press on the Smith machine, and then a seated calf raise. All right, so that's what the split looks like. And let me just kind of explain some of the logic behind it. So both the squat and RDL are probably the most taxing exercises that create the most fatigue, because it's the heaviest that I'm lifting. And so I decided to not put them on the same day. I decided to split them up. So I have, the front part of my legs getting hit on Monday and then the back side on Friday. And it's plenty of days between. So we got 3 days between hack squat and RDLs, and then we got 2 days of rest between RDLs to hack squats. And I find that by the time I go back, my legs have been getting stronger, so that lets me know it's enough rest days between. All right, so why did this work and how did I get better? Well, so let's just go through each exercise week to week. So on the hack squat, I did on week 1, 14 reps, 230 pounds. On week 2, I did 12 reps, 250 pounds. On week 3, I kept the same weight and I did 17 reps, 250 pounds. And then week 4, I did 12 reps, 270 pounds. Yeah, so after week 1, I went up 20 pounds. Then I stayed on that for 2 weeks, and then I went up another 20 pounds. Next exercise is the palm up pull downs. So week 1, I did 8 reps, 200 pounds. Week 2, I did 9 reps, 200 pounds. Week 3, I did 11 reps, 200 pounds. And then week 4, I did 13 reps, 200 pounds. So I went from 8 reps to 13. So the next exercise is weighted dips. And on this one, what I'm finding is by the time I've done the hack squat and I've done the palm up pull down, my energy levels are so low that I'm not really able to give the dips my all. So for the month of December, what I'm going to try is doing dips before the palms up pull downs, and to see if I can progress that way. Because on week 1, I did 9 reps of 90 pounds. Then I did 12 reps, 90 pounds. But on week 3, I actually could only do 11. And then week 4, I ended up doing 14. So I went from 9 reps to 14 reps within that period. But I think I probably would have done even better if the dips were a little bit sooner. And chest is an area that I do want to improve on. My back, I'm kind of happy with for right now, so I still want to progress in it, but I think I'm gonna move chest a little bit higher in the workout for the month of December. And then for calf raises, a lot of this has just been trying to do failure in the 15 to 20 rep range. So I started on the machine press, doing calves with my knees straight. and I did 15 reps at 310, then 20 reps, 310, and then I did another 20 reps, 310, and then finally I went to 325 and did 15 reps. So I went up about 15 pounds on that exercise. So basically what I'm learning is you definitely want to load up on carbs before these workouts. At least for me personally, I perform better when I have more carbs in my system. I have more glycogen to pull from to complete these movements. If I did not eat enough, I see a correlation between the workouts. The performance just is not as good. So some people like to train fasted, and fair play to them. But for me, I want to get stronger, and I have to fuel my body for these movements. They're very taxing on the system, and if you don't have the proper diet, your performance will be affected by it. All right, so moving on. So Wednesday is arms day, and I started off with a shoulder press. I started off with a shoulder press, rear fly, lateral raise, tricep overhead extension, straight bar curl, and then a hammer curl, and then a neck exercise. So on these, I'm gonna just kind of skim through it real quick. I don't want this video to be too long. I think showing you on week 1, you could see how the progression is working. So my shoulder press, week 1, I did 16 reps, 120 on the Smith machine. And by week 4, I was doing 10 reps, 150. So I went up 30 pounds on the shoulder press within that month, which was great. For the rear fly, first week I did 10 reps to failure, 130. And by week 4, I did 15 reps, 140. On the lateral raise, these went up pretty well too. So week 1, I did 10 reps with 30 pounds on the cable machine. And week 4, I did 8 reps with 40 pounds on the cable machine. Next is overhead tricep extension. So week 1, so this is a perfect example where I did not have the weight set heavy enough because I didn't hit failure until 23 reps with 80 pounds. That means the weight was too light if I'm doing that many reps. We want a little bit lower the rep range than that. So week 2, I did 17 reps, 100 pounds. Week 3, I did 18 reps, 110 pounds. And then week 4, I did 15 reps, 120 pounds. So we're looking at, because really 80 wasn't, it was probably 100. So really we're looking at a 20-pound jump on the triceps. So next, curls. So I was doing straight bar curls on a cable machine, but the cable machine, very quickly I was doing the full stack. And so I moved over to free weights, and very quickly I realized that the amount of weight on the free weights is way less on the number and more difficult. So whatever the cable is saying, that's not as much weight as I'm lifting. So on the cables, it was saying I was doing 150 pounds. So when I went to go do it, I did, let's see, we're looking at 70 plus 45, 115 pounds. I could only do 5 reps. So that's a big difference. 150, 10 reps, 115. So the free weights definitely felt way heavier than the cable machine. So I've been sticking with the free weights. I do like it. And so I started 115, and last time I did it, 7 reps. So I'll probably just try to beat 7 next time I do it. All right, and then I did hammer curls, which works the brachialis part of the arm. 13 reps, 30 pounds. And by week 4, I did 14 reps, 40 pounds. The neck exercises, this was like a neck curl or reverse neck curl. I started with 10 reps, 25 pounds, and then I worked up to 20 reps, 25 pounds. The part with that, with the arms, is I decided to just have a day allocated for isolation on the arms. Even though I'm doing these compound movements and I'm getting stronger, that's just one little extra day, and focusing on those and progressing on that as well. All right, so the final workout, which is Friday, is the RDL. I started 12 reps, 225, and 9 reps, 245 for week 2. Then I did 13 reps, 245. And then I got up to 11 reps, 265. I went from 225 to 265. Really happy about that. And what I'm finding out too with the RDLs is, at first my grip was not used to holding that much weight. I'm finding as I'm getting stronger in this movement that the grip is even getting easier. So I'm going to assume that my hands and forearms are also getting stronger by doing this movement. Next exercise is cable pullover. I like the pullover. You get a really good stretch on the back. If I wasn't doing the pullover, I probably would do some type of row instead. So I'm doing the palm up, pull down on Monday, and then on Friday I'll probably do some kind of row. But right now I'm enjoying doing progressive overload with the pullover. So week 1 I did 11 reps, 120 pounds. Then week 2 I did 13 reps, 130 pounds. Week 3 I did 12 reps, 140 pounds. And then week 4 I did 12 reps, 150 pounds. So a 30-pound jump on the pullover. Next exercise is the incline press, and this one I'm really happy about because for a while I was plateaued on this exercise and really trying to find the sweet spot on weights. Rep range has helped me significantly improve on this movement. So I'm doing 4 plates of 45 on the Smith machine. I'm just going to say there's no additional weight and just count the weight that I'm putting on the machine. So let's just say it's 180 pounds. Week 1 I did 6 reps of the 180. Week 2 I did 8 reps, same weight. Week 3 I did 10 reps, and then week 4 I did 8 reps, 190. Really happy about the progressive overload going on here. So it looked like, every week I was going up at least 2 reps on this. And that's kind of what you want to focus on and make sure that you're doing when you're working out. No matter what the split is, if you're not progressing in reps or in the weight, then you really need to evaluate your program. Either you're overtraining or maybe you're not eating enough food before the workouts, but you really need to figure out what's the sweet spot where I do my workout and when I come back, I'm stronger than last time. That really should be your number one goal, no matter what split you're doing. All right, so last is seated calves. And I really like this because it works the soleus part of your calf, which is kind of like near the Achilles and up behind the other parts of the muscle. So we're hitting calves the second day, and I've noticed some strength gains in this as well. So I started with just a 45 plate, 10 reps. Then I moved up to 70 pounds, 10 reps. And last week I ended up doing 15 reps with the 70 pounds. So I think this week I'm going to move up from 70 pounds. And that's it. When you're doing heavy duty training, it's trying to find the sweet spot. Very easily you could lift really heavy, low rep range, and be met with a lot of fatigue. And so if that's the case, reassess your workouts. Maybe you need to lower the weight a little bit. Still go to failure, but just don't go as heavy so you can manage that fatigue. Also, just play around with how many rest days you do before you go back to the next workout. I hope you got some benefit of seeing how my current program is going this winter. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what your current split is. Are you doing a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day split? What does your workout plan look like right now? And are you tracking your workouts? Because to me, not tracking your workouts is probably the biggest mistake anyone can make when it comes to leaving gains on the table. This is the number one thing that holds me accountable and makes sure that I'm doing progressive overload. Because if I were to ask you, what did you do last week on your workout or the week before, and how many reps did you do and at what weight? You're not going to be able to tell me that off the top. That's why writing it down is so important. You can go back and look, and then you can make sure that you're still pushing yourself. Because if you're not doing this, I guarantee there's a chance that you're lifting the same weight over and over and you're not seeing progress in the gym because you're not pushing yourself. So this is my best training partner. It pushes me because it holds me accountable, and I'm constantly competing with myself and trying to do better than last time. It's getting close to Christmas. You're probably going to see a lot of new people in the gym January. Don't be that person waiting until January to start working out. Start working out right now and get in shape, so when January comes, you already look good. I hope y'all found this very useful, and we will see you in the next one.